It's the 73rd meeting between Notre Dame and Pittsburgh, and the stakes are absolutely massive. Both teams enter at 7-2. Notre Dame has to win out if they want to make the college football playoff, while Pittsburgh is not just looking to play spoiler, but they're looking to maybe make a case for the playoff themselves. So who's going to win this game? College game day in town, Saturday morning. It doesn't get better than this, and we're here to break down this game in deep detail and share our official prediction. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to tons of exclusive content, not just for the rest of this season, but well into next year, well into the offseason as well. So go check it out. All the links down in the description below to help you become a member of our GE Nation. So I'm pumped for this one, guys. Pittsburgh, maybe surprising a few people, debuting in the initial rankings of the College Football Playoff Top 25 based on the committee. It's a team that's been playing really good ball right now. Same can be said for Notre Dame, who has won 7 straight games following their 0-2 start. The Fighting Irish have won 4 straight games in the series over Pittsburgh, but they have not played at Pittsburgh since 2020. You dive into this game a little bit deeper. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball. Notre Dame's got a top 15 unit, guys. I know, last year they were very good offensively. Riley Leonard was phenomenal. Coming into this year, there were maybe some questions surrounding them, especially at quarterback. Was C.J. Carr going to pan out? Was Jeremiah Love going to have the season we thought he was going to have? The answers to both of those things were yes, right? This is an offense averaging over 466 yards per game, over 270 through the air, nearly 200 on the ground. C.J. Carr has absolutely lived up to the hype, has thrown for over 2,200 yards, 19 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and is completing over 67% of his passes. Jeremiah Love has absolutely been phenomenal as well. He kind of had a slow start to the season. He woke up. He's rushed for nearly 1,000 yards. Should have crossed the 1,000-yard mark in this game against Pittsburgh in 13 touchdowns. He has a rushing touchdown in 8 straight games, including 4 rushing touchdowns in his last 2 games. So this is a Notre Dame team that, again, started slow. And the funny thing is, it wasn't even a horrible start. Keep in mind, their only 2 losses were to Miami and Texas A&M, both teams within the top 20 in those 2 games, coming by a combined 4 points. Notre Dame since then has won 7 straight games. All 7 games have been won by double digits. They've scored at least 25 points in all of those games, and have scored at least 28 points in 6 of those 7 games. So they're not just winning. They're winning convincingly. And I know people will immediately point to strength of schedule. They'll say, well, who have they played? They haven't played anybody that great. Bottom line is, they're doing what good teams should do, right? If Notre Dame was barely getting by in these games, I think we'd all be a little bit concerned. But Notre Dame is playing like the team we thought they were back in the preseason. They're proving themselves to be, I think, a top 10, top 15 team. They have the offense not just to win this game against Pittsburgh, but to make another run in the college football playoff if they can win out and get there. Pittsburgh. Wow, that's all I got to say. Wow, how about Mason Heinshell? That is all I've got to say. I mean, coming into the year, you think Eli Holston's going to be the quarterback. He's been the quarterback last year. Not a terrible quarterback by any means. Pat Narduzzi has enough. He goes, you know what, we're going to bench you. We're going to bench you. We're going to go with Heinshell. And he has been phenomenal, right? How about a 5-0 record since Heinshell took over at quarterback? The Panthers were 2-2, weren't looking that great. They needed some life. They needed a spark, and they got it in their quarterback, who Heinshell has, in 4 of the 5 games he's played in, has thrown for at least 300 yards, including a 423-yard performance against NC State a few weeks ago. On the year, he's thrown for over 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and leads an offense averaging over 300 passing yards per game, which, kind of feels like a rarity for Pittsburgh. Holston was good, but this is an electric offense that I feel like is something we really haven't seen since the Kenny Pickett days, which I know weren't too long ago, but still, I've been very, very impressed with what Pittsburgh has done over the last month and a half offensively. The rushing game is pretty much non-existent, and that's, I think a slight concern, but also a testament to how good the passing game has been. If you're airing it out and you're airing it out successfully, maybe you're not going to run the ball as much. The Panthers are only averaging 124 rushing yards per game. That's 104th in the nation, so it's really not there. 9 players, though, have at least 100 yards receiving. So they're spreading the ball out extremely well. Kenny Johnson's been great. Raphael Williams Jr. has been great. The biggest thing for Pittsburgh coming into this game is, Heinshell, who, again, has been absolutely phenomenal. Very bright future for this guy with Pittsburgh, assuming they can keep him. Can they succeed like that against arguably the best defense they've seen all year long, right? Credit to the Panthers, credit to what they've done. 7-2 is nothing to frown about, but they've only defeated 2 teams this season that have a record above 500. One of those is Central Michigan, the other is NC State. So they've, like Notre Dame, have had a very cush schedule since their mediocre start. What are they going to do now running into a top 15 offense and one of the better defenses in the country, especially against the run, right? The Fighting Irish, typically have a strong defense. That would be weird if they didn't with a Marcus Freeman-led team, right? They are very strong against the run, 14th in the nation, only allowing 102 rushing yards per game. But the passing defense has some holes in it. The passing defense can be exploited. They are giving up over 230 passing yards per game. And you go look at some of the better teams that they've played, and some other teams have had success through the air. They beat USC by 10 points, but they allowed 328 yards to the Trojans. They allowed 303 passing yards to Purdue, which that was early in the season when Notre Dame was still figuring things out. I know they allowed 30 points in that game as well, but still 300 yards to the Boilermakers. They allowed 360 passing yards to Texas A&M. Obviously, in the midst of their winning streak, they haven't faced many quality quarterbacks. They haven't faced many quality teams that could air it out against this defense. I mean, Navy last week was a team that wants to run the football, obviously, so that's going to improve those stats a little bit. Overall, Notre Dame hasn't maybe faced a quarterback like Heinshell in a very long time. So you kind of wonder what that passing defense is going to be like. The key for Notre Dame in this game, especially with an early morning start on the road, is going to be getting pressure after a young quarterback and forcing interceptions. Because while Notre Dame has been exposed at times in the secondary, they do find a way to get takeaways. And that's the biggest thing. If I'm Marcus Freeman, I don't care if Heinshell goes out there and throws for 500 yards. As long as they don't find the end zone, and as long as we get a couple of takeaways from it, I'm cool with that. Notre Dame, 25 sacks on the year, 16 interceptions on the year. 16 interceptions, including 8 interceptions in their last 4 games. So if the Fighting Irish can come out early, rattle Heinshell early, don't allow the crowd to get into it. Don't allow Pittsburgh offensively to come out and get a strong start to energize the crowd and let them believe they can win this game, you're going to be just fine. Again, yards are fine. Yards are fine. A bend but don't break defense is fine. That's going to be the key for Marcus Freeman's defense on Saturday morning. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, the pressure hasn't been there like it's been in recent years. Only 24 sacks through 9 games. They have forced 15 turnovers, which is a good mark. And overall, collectively as a defense, they do have a solid unit, a top 25 unit, allowing just 318 yards per game. They're third in the nation, by the way, in stopping the run, giving up just 80.9 rushing yards per game. So, I think that's going to be the key for Pittsburgh here is Notre Dame, we talked about it a second ago, is a top 15 offense that's fairly balanced, over 270 through the air, nearly 200 on the ground. You got to find a way to take something away. And I think the biggest thing, especially with a hot running back right now like Jeremiah Love, is taking away the run. You've got the third-ranked rushing defense in the country. Pittsburgh typically under Pat Narduzzi has had a pretty strong front seven. That's proving to be the case once again, despite the low sack numbers for them. If you bottle up the Notre Dame run game and force C.J. Carter to win this game solely by himself, he can absolutely do it, no doubt about it. It just makes things a little bit tougher. And I look at this, this is only, for Notre Dame, only the 4th road game they've played this year. Only the 4th road game they played, and you can argue it's the toughest road game they've played since the season opener at Miami. You can argue that, right? Because what were the other ones? It was Boston College, right, in Arkansas, I'm pretty sure. I know Arkansas for sure. So, none of those were really that difficult. Miami was tough in week 1. Really haven't faced any tough tests on the road. Pittsburgh's going to be a fun environment on Saturday. It's going to be a fun environment, and this team's good. That's the thing about it. So I look at Pittsburgh in this game is you cannot allow Notre Dame to come into your house, bully you up front at the line of scrimmage, which is what they're going to want to do, come in there and establish the run, which in turn is going to set up the pass. You've got to find a way to make Notre Dame one-dimensional and force C.J. Carr to come after you with this secondary. Get some second and third and long situations, obvious passing situations, and let your defense go out there and make a play. That's what you do if you're Pittsburgh, right? And I look at this game, guys, I really think it can be fairly close. Notre Dame has been on a different level all year long. In the 7-game winning streak especially, they've been on a different level. Best win during that time, I would say, obviously the USC game, winning that game by 10 points. But again, allowed over 300 passing yards in that game. This is going to be a really, really good test for both these teams. It's going to tell us if Notre Dame was not a fluke by any means, but if maybe that cush schedule was a little misleading. It's going to tell us if Pittsburgh's the real deal. It's going to tell us a lot about both these programs on Saturday afternoon. But at the end of the day, even though I think it's going to be a little bit closer than maybe people think, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. They are the better coach team. They are the hotter team right now. They are, in my opinion, the better team on both sides of the ball. If they do not come out sluggish, if they don't come out and immediately get punched in the mouth by Pittsburgh, which is what the Panthers need to do, set the tone early. If Notre Dame does not allow that to happen, they'll be just fine. Give me Notre Dame to win this game. I think they win it by at least a touchdown. Could even be more. I mean, if they keep playing the way they've been playing, it could get ugly quick, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Pittsburgh's a better team than people realize. Notre Dame does win, though. They improve to 8-2 and all but lock up their college football playoff spot. Their final 2 games are against Syracuse and Stanford, both of which sit at 3-7 right now. So barring a crazy upset, if Notre Dame beats Pittsburgh, they will be in the college football playoff, and I do believe that's exactly what will happen. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Again, that includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to tons of exclusive content that we do not want you to miss out on. The link for it, again, in the description below to help you become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.